This is Free Money Wednesdays, where funding meets vision. Access becomes strategy, the fastest way to get attention. Apply for funding that lets them see your brand in motion. If you're building something worth backing, visibility starts here.
Our topic for today is, why do I feel guilty spending money on myself? Saving, rebuilding, ownership, and resources for the journey. Welcome back to Free Money Wednesdays, the space where we talk about opportunities, resources, grants, ownership, and building a future with intention. And today I wanted to share, I want to start with something personal. I want to share something personal with you, because this episode almost didn't happen. Not because I did not have grants to share, but because I had feelings I had to process first. So my story, recently I relocated, and with relocation came expenses. New home setup, new purchases, new responsibilities. I had to purchase things I genuinely needed: a washing machine, a dryer, household items, air conditioning. And while I was buying these things, I felt something I did not expect. But let me say this. I felt guilty. I felt guilty. Very guilty, actually. So guilty that it broke me. And I had to pick myself up off the ground. You see, growing up, I never had security in feeling safe or feeling like someone's going to provide, someone's going to protect. I've never had those things. And then as I grew older, I have not had that relationship either, where I feel like somebody says, oh, I love this person so much and I got you, kind of thing. I have people in my life who they show up and they're there, and if I call them, they're there and stuff like that. But it feels like favor to me, or something, a service I pay for, right? So because of that, I've always had to work hard to take care of myself. But sometimes in doing so, sometimes I feel like I'm always behind the eighth ball, like I'm always behind the target, like I can never hit the mark. You know what I mean? Like, no matter what I do, no matter how much I achieve, no matter how far I've come, it's like the spot I've been in, not all my life, but the spot I feel like I was in, that scarcity spot, like it's following me, and I'm so vulnerable to falling back there, right? So it's like you're making strides and stuff, but you feel like, why do I feel like I make 2 steps forward, 4 steps back? And that's not I don't think that's real truth. Well, not think. It's not the truth of my situation. It's not. In that, all the strides I've made have made life easier and better and better. However, there is a goal that I have in mind that I have not yet achieved. And sometimes I have to be careful not to judge my movement by the goal that's ahead of me, not to judge my movement by the goal ahead of me, but to judge it by the spot I'm leaving. Does that make sense? So let's say where I'm leaving is 10 steps behind me, where I'm going is 10 steps ahead of me. If I base my movement on what's ahead of me, I feel like I can never get there, no matter what I do. But if I judge it by the steps left behind me, I can say, oh, but I'm 10 steps away from where I started. You see what I'm saying? So I have to see the cup as half full. I have to see my efforts as these were efforts that worked. I may not be where I want to be. I may not have, I'm not where I want to be yet, but I'm closer to there. And I am not where I started. So I have to remind myself of those things, because I get back in that trap where I confuse where I've started with where I'm trying to get to. and have them shift place. Like, oh my God, this is where I'm at, so how come I'm not there? No, that's where I'm heading. I wasn't there before, so I'm heading there. But I'm definitely not where I'm coming from. I don't know if that affects you, but it's something that I had to realize was affecting me. So I had to do some self-check. You know what I mean? So I felt guilty, very guilty. Not because I was reckless, because I'm not. Not because I went shopping for luxury items. I felt guilty because I was watching savings go down. I felt like, oh my gosh, all my savings are being depleted. I had $10, now it's $5. And then I started blaming myself. You can't even save. I started blaming myself, you know? And those savings represented something. It represented my steps closer to where I'm trying to get to. Right? They represented land. They represented future plans. They represented goals. And even though I understood logically why I was spending, emotionally, it still hurt a lot. It was a struggle. So the lesson, I had to stop and ask myself, see, it's affecting me right now. I had to stop and ask myself, isn't this why you saved? Isn't this why we save? Because sometimes we save for the dream, but life asks us to spend on the bridge. The washer may not look like land. The dryer may not look like wealth. The furniture may not look like investment, but stability, peace, a functional environment, those are investment too. Because when your environment works, your mind has room to create. When your home is functioning, your future has somewhere to go. And this is something else I had to remind myself of. Girl, you were able to relocate and you had the capacity to acquire the things the relocation demanded. Oh, how powerful. And I had to say to myself, that is one of the dreams, baby girl. That was one of the dreams. One of the dreams was being able to thrive, to live, to exist for when change happens, to be able to handle it. And that's what I was doing. So even if I once had $5 and now I only have $1, it's not a loss. It was used for what it was what it was meant for. That was the whole point of it. So that when you needed it, you'd have it. You save so when you need it, you have it. Yeah? So I had to remind myself of that. And this is why I believe Free Money Wednesdays matters. Because free money isn't always about getting rich. Sometimes it's about reducing pressure. Reducing pressure. You know? Sometimes it's about helping communities around us. Sometimes it's about helping communities rebuild. Sometimes it's about giving organizations room to breathe. Sometimes it's about support. So for my nonprofit leaders, community builders, and NYC organizations, here are a few opportunities to look that's worth looking into. And I'm also going to share where on my website you can go to access, hang on, oh, it's there. There we go. All right, I just want to see where I'm at. So I want to share with you where on my website you can go to search for my grant listing. It's on my website, mycoachministry.com. You can go to /blog or just scroll down on the page when you get there and you'll see it. It's right here, right? Right. So 10 must-watch grants with May deadlines for entrepreneurs to seize. And this episode is coming out on May 28th, right? And I also have some here that I don't think I don't think are here, but I'm going to share them with you anyway. How much of them, right? I have 5 additional ones that I want to share with you here as well. But let's start with the ones that are currently on the site. You can go to 10 must-watch grants with May deadlines for entrepreneurs. May is a crucial month for entrepreneurs, nonprofits, and innovators looking to secure funding. Several grant opportunities with fast-approaching deadlines can provide the financial boost needed to launch or scale projects. Acting quickly can open doors to resources that support technology development, creative ventures, and international collaboration. Below are 10 grants with May deadlines that founders and innovation-led builders should watch right now.
Welcome to mycoachministry.com. We're on a mission to empower 1 million purpose-driven entrepreneurs, turning calling into currency. Through strategic coaching, we guide visionary leaders, brand elevation, and creative empowerment, helping leaders break barriers and own their identity. Build impactful, wealth-generating brands that echo across generations.
So one, we have the NSF SBIR/STTR Seed Fund for U.S. tech startups. This fund targets early stage technology startups in the United States, supports research and development to help bring innovative tech ideas to market. The program is vital for startups aiming to validate concepts and attract further investments. And the link to more is there. Public Diplomacy Grants Program. Deadline May 18 passed. So let's just move forward. U.S. Federal Opportunity on grants.gov. Deadline May 29, 2026. And the grant listing is published on my website at the beginning on the 1st of every month. So you don't have to wait for Free Money Wednesdays to access them, but I'm going to also mention them during Free Money Wednesdays, right? So this federal grant opportunity supports a broad range of projects, including community development and innovation. It suits organizations ready to tackle social challenges with scalable solutions. The funding can accelerate impactful programs with government backing. U.S. Federal Opportunity on grants.gov. The deadline May 30. Another federal grant with a focus on research, technology, and community services. It is designed for entities that can deliver measurable outcomes and innovation. This grant is important for those seeking to expand their reach and impact. Canada Pathway to Commercialization for SMEs. Small and medium-sized enterprises in Canada can benefit from this program, which helps move innovative products from concept to market. It funds activities like prototype development and market testing. This pathway is crucial for Canadian SMEs aiming to grow internationally. Canada AI Compute Access Fund for Scaling AI Projects. This fund supports Canadian companies working on artificial intelligence intelligence projects that require significant computing resources. It helps scale AI innovations that can transform industries. The grant is essential for startups and researchers needing access to high performance computing. Canada Global Innovation Cluster Opportunities. These opportunities target collaborative innovation clusters in Canada, bringing together businesses, researchers, and government. They fund projects that drive economic growth through shared expertise and resources. This grant matters for those looking to join or build innovation ecosystems. UK Innovate UK. Find a grant, find a grant UK Innovate UK Find a Grant May competitions. UK-based innovators can apply for various competitions hosted by Innovate UK in May. These grants support technology development, product launches, and business growth. They are valuable for startups and SMEs aiming to compete on a global scale. UK Creative and Innovative Grant calls closing in May. This funding suits creative industries and innovation-driven projects in the UK. It supports activities from product design to market research. The grants help creative entrepreneurs turn ideas into viable businesses. Grants.gov forecast opportunities with May postings for summer deadlines. This forecast lists upcoming federal grant opportunities posted in May with deadlines in the summer. It helps entrepreneurs plan ahead for funding in areas like health, education, and technology. Monitoring these forecasts ensures timely applications for future grants. All right. And there, if you go on here, there's also 5 money generating hacks for entrepreneurs that you can check out as well. But I have some grants on here that I'd like to share. On here, I'd like to share with you as well. So grant spotlights. 1, NYC Cultural Development Funding Opportunity. If you operate a qualifying arts or cultural nonprofit organization in New York City, check the Cultural Development Fund opportunities through the city's cultural support systems. Great fit for arts education, youth engagement, cultural prevention, and community programming. Sister Georgie, for example, would be a great project for such a grant. And then we have number 2, non-profit grant programs. There are nonprofit funding opportunities available through corporate giving programs that support registered 501c3 organizations. Areas often include community development, education, economic mobility, youth services, neighborhood impact, because we also have Bible Talk for Children, which is also another good project. So then we have the veteran and wellness grants, organizations working in wellness, outdoor engagement, healing experiences, and veteran support should also watch nature and wellness-related funding programs. These sometimes support mental health, community recovery, and quality of life initiatives. Number 4, environmental and community improvement grants. If your nonprofit works in beautification, community gardens, environmental education, youth spaces, cleanup projects, or neighborhood revitalization, environmental grants may be worth exploring. And the final one, number 5, community leadership funding. And for grassroots leaders, community leadership grants continue to be one of my favorite categories because they often support local solutions created by local people. Never underestimate community-based funding. And the reflection for today. Okay, our reflection for today. So today I want to leave you with this thought. Don't confuse necessary spending with failure. Relocation costs money. Rebuilding costs money. Healing costs money. Growth costs money. And sometimes the money you saved sometimes the money you saved becomes the money that saves you. Isn't that why we save? That doesn't make you irresponsible. That makes you prepared. Prepared. Okay? So, our ownership check-in. Before we go, let's have an ownership check-in. And I'm sharing something on the screen, how to use this grant list. I'm going to read this right after going into the ownership check-in. So our ownership check-in for today. Now, ownership is a habit. Ownership is a lifestyle. Ownership is a culture. And today's question is, are you invested where you are investing? When I relocated recently, I had to use savings I had worked hard to build. I bought things I genuinely needed: a washer, dryer, home essentials, and I felt guilty. Not because I was reckless, not because I wasted money, but because I was watching savings that represented future dreams become present solutions. And then I had to ask myself, if I am willing to invest in future goals, am I willing to invest in the person who will carry them? Let me ask that again. If I am willing to invest in future goals, am I willing to invest in the person who will carry them? Take a moment to think about it. Yeah? Are you investing in environments, the systems, the people, the habits, and the stability that support the future you say you want? Because sometimes the investment isn't the dream. Sometimes the investment is the person carrying the dream. Now, let me share the 10 ways to maximize your grant applications, and then we're going to close. Match mission and eligibility. Check deadlines and set reminders. Organize documents in advance. Pre-write common proposal sections, and this is being shown on the screen for those of you who are watching. So pre-write common proposal sections. Align with funders' values. Customize each application. Connect with past winners for insights. Follow the instructions precisely. Proofread and review thoroughly. And stay persistent and apply consistently. For more tips, hacks, and insights, tune into Free Money Wednesdays. Clearly, it is published on Wednesdays, although this is a part of Refresh, Relax, Renew podcast, which broadcasts on Thursdays. But this segment will be pulled out and republished on Wednesdays. All right? The following Wednesday after Refresh, Relax, Renew. Anyways. Oh, wow, we've come to an end. Remember, habits become lifestyle. Lifestyle becomes culture. Habits become lifestyles. Lifestyles become culture. Until next time, keep building. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. I'm Coach Racquel, and it's been such an honor for me to be here with you today. Have a phenomenal growth experience as you advance in this life. Thank you.
Unlock your potential every Thursday with our podcast, Refresh, Relax, Renew. Join Coach Racquel as she guides you through personal development journeys. Each episode focuses on actionable steps to enhance your personal journey. The podcast features 3 main segments to keep you engaged. We start with discussions on trending topics relevant to your growth. Then we unbox solutions to common challenges we face daily. Finally, stay updated with fresh funding opportunities each week. Tune in every Thursday for new episodes, and see you there.